you're a believer or not, it's often surprising the amount of Christian activity going on behind the scenes in the community, from charities to children's groups. The faith has historically been linked with the voluntary sector, but a new breed of enthusiasts are making their voice heard. In one of the South Counties is West Sussex, becoming the Bible Belt of the UK. Danielle Glavin reports.
What links big stars like John Bon Jovi and Bryan Adams to Little Hampton? Well, it's a rock group called Delirious. So if you don't go to church, it's highly unlikely you've heard of them. They're a religious group, and they're often described as the Christian U2.
Yeah, we can play a club in London and rock as hard as any other band.
They've been #1 in the American gospel chart and performed in front of the Pope, but is their religion shielding them from fame in the UK? They don't even get recognised in their local high street.
You know, Christian music has historically not been that great. But yeah, sometimes you think, you know, if this could be exposed to a larger audience, I think people would really love it. We're obviously, and still are, very proud of our church roots here in Little Hampton. And so some would call that baggage for us, trying to be a band in the world. But I think we look at it as that's our heritage and we're proud of that.
Hello, I'm Marina Santi.
FIBA Radio is a global broadcaster, yet again based in West Sussex and yet again with a low profile at home. Their slow-spoken spotlight programme is broadcast in Africa, Asia and the Middle East. The aim is to help people learn English and about Christian thinking.
The programmes aren't preaching programmes at all. They're very different from the stereotypical sort of old-school Christian preaching programmes. If we have a Christian message about forgiveness or reconciliation or anything, and we're talking about what Christians think, we'll say that. We'll say Christians believe, da-da-da-da. You know, there's no kind of follow the Lord, amen type messages.
The main feature, obviously, is the mixer.
It's a charity, but their religious roots mean they rely mainly on churches for support.
If you look at the charters of so many organisations that give to charity, and for example big business, very often they specifically exclude religious purposes in their giving to charity. And that's fair enough. If that's what they want to do, that's up to them. So it does rather narrow the field for us in terms of who we can appeal to for funds.
Sometimes it's hard to be different.
West Sussex is home to a long list of Christian businesses and organisations, from newspapers to the production company Vivid.
Some people might think you're strange if you don't agree with them. People can think differently all the time.
As well as shows like this for Christian satellite channels, they make films for businesses.
Well, let's get the miracle book.
They've also made films with Delirious. Back at the band's home church in Little Hampton, the lead singer's father-in-law is the lead pastor. The community church has a Christian play centre on Russell 2 High Street, and they run the nursery at the Sure Start Children's Centre in Whitbourne.
Jesus was born in Bethlehem, Bethlehem.
The centres were thought up by the government to give every child a good start in life. A number in West Sussex are run by churches. Arran Community Church runs this one in partnership with the County Council. It's a deprived area, so a valuable resource for the community.
All of the partnerships are going very well, and we get very, very positive feedback from parents about it. There are some who are concerned with our links with churches, and basically we try and minimise the impact that has.
We're here because God loves us so much. He sent Jesus, his son, to the earth to bring light, to bring hope into this world that is hopeless and dark.
It's not without its difficulties sometimes, because obviously we have to offer the services fully inclusively, and some people would argue that churches are not always 100% inclusive.
How much does religion play a part, say in the nursery in the day or in the before school or after school meetings?
Well, I think that most of the people there would be Christians and would have that sort of ethos. But really, that's not the main thing. We're just wanting to bring some practical help and some practical support to the community.
So you would have some parents coming in who wouldn't, necessarily take their children to church or pray. So how do you explain to them what their children are going to see here that might be slightly different, that they wouldn't come across?
Okay, well, first of all, I think most of them would understand that our play centres are run by the church. And I think for most people, they're looking for some Christian value anyway, so it isn't really a problem. I think that if they really do have a problem, they wouldn't bring their children to our play centres.
Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
Some say Christianity is being forced out of sight, but as this shows, Christian groups are playing a key role in delivering public services to people in need.